J Rocks.
I can see that you are having trouble reacting to this. Why don't you ease up a bit, take a seat and forget all your worries. Welcome to a world where there are boundless possibilities. Just let loose and take this with.
Thanks, Tim the Rocker and Headbanger Paxton for the intro. What a way to get this drawing activity started. This is J-Ro walking you through it. I've got another scenario piece I'm working on with 3 characters in it. I've drawn one of the 3 characters multiple times in other pieces, but the other 2 are new. I gotta say that it's a liberating thing to create scenario art pieces. I pretty much get to do whatever I want in the process of creating them. I can draw any character I want, put in any number of characters, and think up any setting. The dialogue is also very important in a scenario piece, and it's something that actually takes me a while to come up with. So when I think up a scenario, I don't do any writing beforehand. I actually do the writing after I'm done creating the art piece itself, which probably makes me weird. The reason being is that I prefer drawing to writing, and drawing gives me visual, so I find it more convenient. It's funny because talking about writing kind of takes me back to my college years when I had to pull all-nighters to get my essays done. Man, that wasn't fun. But yeah, I just want to draw until I find some satisfaction, and finding some satisfaction is really hard for me. It takes me so many attempts to get a drawing right. In my eyes, at least. Alright, let me pause it here. The most visible character that you're seeing right here is Brielle. I'm not by any means done drawing her, by the way. I sort of doodled the other 2 characters as you can see, but the lines on them are faint, and they're pretty much just faceless figures right now. I'll work on them even more, starting with the character sitting in front of Brielle. Going back to what I was saying earlier about finding some satisfaction when it comes to drawing, I gotta say that I struggle with that a lot. I'm never completely satisfied with any of the work that I put out. Perfectionism might sound like a good word, but it's not necessarily so. If anything, it is what delays a lot of things. I have all of these ideas and I do as much work as I can, but I'm not able to release as much of it as I want to. The work I put out with Tanjiro from Demon Slayer and Misa from Death Note in it was something I did as quickly as I could, however. I mean, I did the pencil drawing relatively quick, but the inking and coloring took me some time, especially the coloring. Just thinking of which colors I wanted to use took me some time. I had to re-ink my work too since some of the ink got drenched in acrylic. It's not close to being perfect by any means, but I simply wanted to make something without filming it in order for me to be able to release it as soon as I could. Okay, this character sitting in front of Brielle is more visible than ever, so I had to pause the drawing. Remember when I said earlier that I've drawn one of these 3 characters multiple times in other pieces? This is that character. Her name is Katie. I'm not done drawing her, nor am I done drawing Brielle. Before I finish drawing Katie and Brielle though, I want to finish drawing the character standing in front of Katie first. I was talking about perfectionism earlier, and I want to talk about it even further. I usually try to be careful as opposed to being careless when it comes to a multitude of things. I also worry so much about the little things, which makes it difficult for me to carry on. Sometimes I feel like a football coach who's super conservative on how I approach each game. I don't want my quarterback to get picked off, so I only have him make the safe throws, mostly checkdowns. I want my running backs to carry the load on offense, which means I'll be happy with the occasional 20-plus yard runs that help put my team in field goal range. I'm okay with settling for field goals so long as my defense is able to contain the opposing offense. I'm talking to you. Mike Tomlin. To be fair, that type of coaching does result in wins, but it only works against teams that have poor offenses. It may occasionally work against a good offensive team, but the chances of that happening are low. There are many bad offensive teams in the regular season, but it's a different story in the playoffs. Long story short, quit playing it safe and just go at it. Okay, I'm at least done drawing one character here. This character's name is Case. Now you know the names of these 3 characters. Alright, I'll be drawing the clothes of Brielle and Katie next. I'll ease up on my commentary, but I'll pop back in from time to time. I've drawn Brielle's and Katie's clothes. Now I'm going to be drawing a yoga mat under them. I'm done drawing the yoga mat. Something isn't right regarding Brielle's arm though. You see this right here? I went overboard with my line drawing for this. There shouldn't be any line in that spot because the human body wasn't designed that way. Let me erase that real quick. That's more like it. Now I can finally say that I'm done drawing all three of the characters and the yoga mat. It's now time to do some coloring. I'll do the flats on the characters. Alright, the flats are done on the characters. I've chosen to ignore coloring the mat for now because the characters are my priority. I'll be doing the shading on the characters next. Since I'm done shading the characters, now is the time to show you my previous pieces with Katie in them. This is the first piece I created with Katie in it. She's with a character named Paul. This is another one, at Christmas time. I posted these on Instagram by the way, but I took the liberty to insert them in this video for your own convenience. Alright, back to the piece I'm still working on. I am done shading the characters as I mentioned earlier. The mat is still colorless though, but before I start coloring the mat, I made a decision to draw a lotion bottle right at Brielle's right foot. I'll do that first and I'll start coloring the mat in the lotion bottle. I'll do the flats and the shading and I'll be doing the two women shadows in the lotion bottle shadow as well. Alright, so I'm done working on the characters in the lotion bottle. I can't say I'm done with the yoga mat because I haven't worked on its shadow yet. I don't want to do that yet because I'm going to be working on the background and I want to make sure that the color of the mat shadow will match the color of the surface it's lying on. I do have an idea of what background I want to create. Brielle, Katie, and Case are hanging out at a park, so expect to see green grass as the surface. There are different shades of green though, and it's all up to me which color I want for my green grass, but I still don't have a firm idea because I haven't started creating the background yet. Let me go ahead and get started with that so that I can make progress here. I'm fully painting the background by the way, so it's all colors. I was thinking about drawing the trees, but I ultimately decided against that because I just wanted to make use of colors. In my Asteroid vs. Demon Warrior piece, I decided to draw the mountains, but in hindsight, it probably would have looked better had I painted everything in the background instead. Oh well, what's done is done with that. When it comes to the characters, I always want to draw them because I'm inspired by 2D cartoons in anime, and I like how the black outlines are very common in them. I do prefer the art style in anime though, even though my own style is closer to the style in 2D cartoons. Speaking of 2D cartoons, I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Heavy Metal, which came out in 1981. I had actually never seen that movie until I bought a digital copy of it recently. Judging by its production quality, it does look dated, but I actually like the art style in it. It looks better than the art style in many of the cartoons today. And yes, I prefer 2D cartoons to 3D cartoons. It's funny, I took a break from watching anime, but I've come back to watching anime again because of that movie. Before you call me an idiot, I do know that Heavy Metal doesn't fall under the anime category, but it has adult themes and a lot of anime have adult themes, so that's the connection there. Not only am I interested in watching anime and 2D cartoons to follow this story, I'm also interested in the process of making them. I know that historically, characters and other moving elements were drawn on paper and inked and colored on celluloid films with the backgrounds being painted on boards. I also know that 2D animation is mostly done digitally now, but I did know that the digital shift started in the late 80s. What's interesting too is the use of CGI backgrounds in 2D animation. I didn't know that CGI backgrounds have been used since the 80s in 2D animation. There's a lot of history to learn on the subject and I find it fascinating. Still working on the background here. Doing this actually reminds me of how I got started in the art world. I would paint environments, I would also draw objects, but I found it more interesting to draw anime characters, and it was Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho that I would draw a lot. I still draw him today because he's my favorite anime character of all time. Art has obviously stuck with me because I'm still doing it today. I can say the same thing with regard to music. Okay, I'm done working on the background. Man, I'm not gonna lie, that felt like a chore to me, but I'm glad I'm done with it. Of course, the scenario piece won't be complete without some dialogue, so I'll work on that. Alright, this is the exchange between my characters. If anyone gets it, do leave something in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. This is Jero once again. As always, I'm curious to know what you all think. Like what you see, hate what you see, tell me all about it in the comments, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Take us out, Paxton.